Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of One Piece manga chapter 836, and that was this week's chapter. I'm a day late with my review as expected since I was a day late with the live reaction, but you get what I'm saying. I just got back from vacation and everything, and let's go ahead and just talk through this one, I guess is the normal way that we do this. But we start out with the cover, and on the cover this time around for the whole 500 million Berryman arc thing we've been doing, we got Aokiji and his pet penguin, who I think is named Camel. I don't know. I don't really honestly know. But so it was neat to see Aokiji again or whatever. I'm not a big Aokiji fan, as you guys probably know. So yeah, it was just sort of whatever for me. But getting into the actual story, Nami remembers for a few pages the stuff with Lola, and then puts together all of the Big Mom stuff, and that this dude is her father and all that. So Nami figures all of that out. And from there we go to Randolph and the Crane, and Randolph and the Crane come swooping in, but they're actually stopped by Cracker. And the way it works with Cracker is that when he stops them, I guess he's so strong or scary that all the trees and the flowers and the homies and stuff around him just wither from fear. So it was really interesting to see that he has that kind of a presence, and it was a really funny scene with Randolph and the Crane trying to blame each other for coming in. So that was really funny, and seeing that they can actually speak, which I mean the homies can speak, so I think at this point we could just be left to assume that any of the weird stuff can speak around here. Not sure why it sings or why it says its own name. Maybe that's something that Big Mom forces them to do, like the carpet that said carpet and stuff like that. Yeah, getting a little bit off on a tangent there. So Cracker, it's not hockey, they say, it's just them wilting from fear alone. But Luffy actually does say that he can tell that Cracker is strong. And of course we've seen that before in One Piece, where Luffy sort of has a sense for which characters are really, really strong. So Brule comes in riding on this giant-ass tree monster, and its name is King Bomb. And I friggin' love King Bomb's design. I think it's really, really cool. I like just the whole giant, goofy tree monster with a mustache thing. But we find out once she arrives that all of the Vinsmoke brothers are meeting at the Whole Cake Chateau tomorrow afternoon. And from there, we have Brule turn all of the copies back into animals and show off that Carrot and Chopper are in the mirror world, but she smashes the mirror. So again, I guess they can come out whenever Brule lets them out of the mirror world. I'm assuming that's how that works. But I think what's really important here, and possibly the most important thing in this chapter, is Chopper says to Luffy, hey, wait up a second. And we just cut away from that, and Chopper is presumed to tell Luffy something off panel while we're going back to Cracker talking with Brule. So I think that may be the most important thing, whatever Chopper had to say to Luffy that was secret enough to be off panel. We also find out from Cracker that it's a weird translation, and a lot of people have been talking about trying to figure out what he means exactly by it. But what I got from what Cracker said next was that Big Mom has pretty much cast off her past 43 husbands, and that makes me wonder who's the current one? Who's the 44th? I'm pretty sure she did have kids with each of the husbands, if only she had them to have kids from different species or different places around the world. But I'm wondering who the 44th husband is then. And from there we get him about to kill Lola's father, but Luffy blocks the blade and then kicks Lola's father out of his hand. Lola's father runs away with Nami, and we find out that his name is Pound. Nami pulls the Viver card out of her boobs, and when she pulls out the Viver card, all the homies freak out, and they're like, we can't stand against her. We can sense Big Mom's powerful soul. So that there makes me think maybe souls, we still haven't seen how Viver cards are made, but maybe souls have a part in it. Like, it's weird, because if you can sense her soul from the Viver card, maybe a piece of the soul is in the Viver card, and that would make sense for why it would decay when the person is dying. So yeah, I think that makes sense. A little mini theory in there, but something that this chapter might be sort of hinting at us. So Luffy pretty much gets thrown through the woods by Cracker, and Cracker is coming towards him, and his arms, and it seems to me like his legs as well, are multiplying, because it looks in the last page like he has 4 legs. But I'm assuming that's some sort of devil fruit. It would seem most likely that it is a devil fruit, not sure what kind. But there are some weird ones out there. I mean, hell, Robin's flower fruit is a really strange one. So yeah, he's coming at Luffy, and we find out that he is, what was it, Thousand Arms Cracker is his full epithet or whatever, and that his bounty is 860 million berry. So the highest we've seen other than Jack, I think. I don't think we've seen anybody higher than that other than Jack. So I would say that the 3 Sweet Commanders are probably on the level of the Calamities then, if it's that close in bounty. And I'd say he's not as strong as Jack, but then again, it did take an entire elephant to take down Jack. I mean, Jack survived a lot of shit until Zoe swiped it with the trunk. And even then he survived, he just needs somebody to fish him out of the ocean. So Jack's pretty damn strong, and if Cracker is nearly that strong, I think Luffy's going to have a little bit of a struggle with him, but I'm not sure that the fight will last to the end, because this Viver card stuff might cause them to end the fight early and actually go to see Big Mom with Cracker and Brûlée. I'm honestly not sure. The Viver card does throw a little bit of an extra twist in it. So that was it for the chapter, and most of the chapter was just characters finding out things that readers already knew. So I mean, it wasn't anything too big or spectacular, and honestly nothing too big or spectacular even happened. Yeah, not much happened really. There were a lot of people that complained weeks back at the first Seducing Force chapter that not much happened, but here I feel like even more so. I felt just like it was short and there wasn't a ton of content, and I guess a big part of it is I didn't like that we spent like 3 or 4 pages or so of just Nami figuring out that, oh, that's the same Lola, when it honestly wasn't that hard to piece together at this point. Like, I feel like they kind of spoon-fed it to fans and readers when fans and readers already knew and were pretty much guessing it and assuming it for years and years beforehand. So I didn't think we needed to spend so much time on that. And because it was just kind of short and meh and not a ton happened, I still think the most important thing is probably whatever secret thing Chopper told Luffy off panel that we readers didn't get to hear. I think that might be the most important thing here. And so yeah, I guess that's it. I'll give it 5.5 giant monster trees out of 10 because it was a tiny bit above average, but it was just pretty meh. So yeah, that's it for this week's review. Like if you did like this video, comment down there, tell me what you thought of the chapter, what you thought of my thoughts on it. Subscribe for more One Piece, both manga and anime, and a bunch of other manga and anime as well. And that's it. So follow on Twitter if you want for some updates and stuff. And I'll see you all next time.